Hi everybody, it's Kia here from Cara Bookkeeping Specialist. I hope you're having a wonderful day today. Today we're going to be talking about the income tax bracket changes that were announced by the Chancellor in his budget on the 3rd of March. Now this can be a little bit of a tricky area to get your head around sometimes, so if you do have questions, just drop them in the comments below, or you can message me direct, email, message, Facebook Messenger, whatever the case may be. Please get in touch and I'll do my best to help you out, but let's get into it for today and see if we can kind of figure this out. So the personal allowance threshold is being raised from 12,500 where it's currently at to 12,570 as of April 2021, and it will remain fixed at that level until April 2026. Now that sounds good. We've got £70 extra that we're not going to be taxed on. So what the personal allowance threshold is, it's a limit which is currently 12,500, which is anything you make up to that amount, you don't get taxed. So if you're making under that amount, you're not getting taxed on it at all. When you go over it, you start to be taxed at the applicable rate. Okay, so this is for income tax. And so they're raising it now to 12,570, which means that you have an extra 70 quid that you can earn before you start to get taxed at that rate. Fantastic. Okay, higher rate threshold, same thing. They're also raising the higher rate threshold rate from 50,000 to 50,270. So you've got 270 quid extra per year that you can make before you get taxed on it. And you know, the Chancellor was very happy, I think, to make this announcement. And you know, he said very honestly that we're going to try and be very honest, always being honest with the people, and you know, the average person in the UK will be better off. And I was a bit like, really, Mr. Chancellor, are you sure? Like, let me just check, because it didn't sound that great to me. And here's why. If we look over the course of the past 10 years, which I did, I went back over the past 10 years to see what the personal allowance thresholds have been. And you can see quite clearly that way back in 2011, it was down here to just over 6 grand. And this is where we're currently at now, at the 12,500 mark. Each year, the personal allowance threshold has increased. Why is that? Because the cost of living increases year on year, and the personal allowance allows those of us on low incomes to be able to survive, to pay for your basic needs and necessities, your standard living costs, before you get taxed on anything, right? And the yellow line here is a trend line, and that trend line clearly shows that that trend is likely to continue. Living costs, basic living costs, is likely to increase over time. This is just a standard normal thing that happens. It's caused by things like inflation and recessions, and all these things have an impact on our living costs as average human beings in the UK today. And the personal allowance threshold protects us from falling into abject poverty, essentially, by providing us this threshold here. But fixing the personal allowance threshold at a rate for 5 years means that we're not going to be better off. We're going to be staying at the same rate, 12,570, but the cost of living is likely to continue to go up, which means that in real terms, the money you have now will not go as far as it does today, right? So that's how you need to think. The cost of bread and milk and eggs to put on your table for breakfast in the morning, the money you make that goes towards your cost of living is not going to go as far as it is doing now. And because this is to last for 5 years, another criticism that was raised is that you're effectively forcing people, pushing people into higher tax brackets. Now, how does this work? Because over time, in general, when you're employed, you tend to you'll get a pay rise, or you'll earn more money, or your pay will increase year on year. And generally this is in line with inflation, or you might just be getting promotions, or whatever the case may be. So in general, people tend to earn more each year, even if it's by a marginal amount. Now, if you're earning more, but your personal allowance threshold is staying the same, you're automatically going to be pushed into paying more taxes over time. Right, so you're going to be paying more taxes, and your take-home pay realizable value is not going to have this. It's not going to be the same. It's going to be less. So really, realistically, we can see that the average UK people are going to be, unfortunately, worse off. Now, what is my advice to you to deal with this? Well, as always, I'm always telling you guys to please run your forecast. I want you to be able to look ahead. Now, this is not short-term forecasting, this is long-term forecasting. And the issue with long-term forecasting is that it's not accurate, and it gets less accurate the more further ahead in the future you go. So run the forecast to give yourself a roadmap of what's likely to happen or what the future may look like, and then be able to and be prepared to tweak it as time goes on. Check your personal survival budget, have a look at it, tweak it, adjust it, think about how is this tax change is going to affect me long term. What contingencies do you need to put in place? What additional allowances are there that are available to you that you may be eligible for, that you can take advantage of, and take advantage of absolutely as many of them as you can. Okay, so for now it looks good. You know, you're going to be getting that extra 70 quid in your pocket, which is fantastic, or 270, which is great. But long term, I want you to think about and assess the risks or the potential areas of the situation that might cause difficulty for you in terms of your personal life and your business life. So this is particularly important, for example, for anybody who does self-assessment, sole traders. If you are employed, it's important for you as well. And in terms of limited company directors, you know, in terms of dividends and things like that, and other ways that you're paying yourself, if you're paying yourself for your salary and PAYE, then this will affect you as well. So please take note of it. And once again, if any more information comes out and more details and things like that, then I will be sure to let you guys know as soon as I know. Other than that, guys, thank you so much for watching. Have a really great day. Please remember to like, share, subscribe, and follow, and I will see you on the next one. Thank you so much. Bye.